Today we are getting back to solar. Last time we were working on all this solar and building our racks and everything, it was about 115 degrees for like the 2 months that we worked on it. And now we're finally ready to start getting the install done. And now it's like 35 and 40 degrees. So a little bit different attire here today than last time we worked on solar. I'm all bundled up because I'm freezing. But our first step in getting the solar installed is to just make sure we have every single measurement correct. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take this unistrut rail and we're going to install this first. If you guys remember, basically all of our racks mount to the unistrut. So the only thing that's actually mounted onto the roof is the unistrut. And it's going to be bolted through the roof. So we need to make sure we have every single measurement correct so that we can go up, lay that up there, figure out where we're going to drill holes and get that all ready. We have, it probably looks like chicken scratch, but this is sort of all of the measurements that we had done over the summer and like where each little L bracket goes and where the lower brackets go and the upper brackets and how long the unistrut is supposed to be. But we're just triple checking our work before we go drilling anything. We also need to cut probably about 2.5 feet off this unistrut. So we are gonna go ahead and in here in our driveway and garage, we're gonna lay everything out and kind of do a mock setup of the whole system here, and then we'll know exactly where to cut it off. And then we'll take the unistrut up, lay it up on the roof, and start making the first holes into the roof. A little scary, but that's why we do so much triple measuring and triple checking and making sure we got it all right. So that's our plan for today. Just step one in the install. I'm sure this is going to take us multiple days. We're kind of trying to fight the rain. We know we've got rain coming the next couple of weekends, so we're going to get done what we can today, and then when the weather allows us, we'll get the rest of it installed. So first step is laying this out in the garage and the driveway. So we got all of the upper racks in place. It took a little while longer because we had to reset them. Right here, as we were attaching this L bracket, we realized it accidentally bumped into the bracket that connects the two pieces of unistrut, and just my paper measurements were off by just a little tiny bit there, and so we just kind of had to slide things down a little bit, but everything is in place, and so now we can see where we need to cut the end of the unistrut off. So that is going to be the first step, and then we should be able to leave all of these L brackets in place, and then when we go and take all the racks back off, when we then go to take the unistrut up onto the roof, our L brackets will already be in place exactly where we want them. And so it'll make that step of the install go a little bit faster. Okay, so we got all of the L brackets here that will hold our lower solar panel rails mounted in, and these are a little more flexible, so we can adjust these once we've got it up on the roof and make sure everything is perfectly straight, but they're approximately where we think they need to go. So our next step, we've marked where we need to cut off the extra unistrut at the end. So our next step is just going to be to cut those off, and then we're going to leave all the L brackets on the unistrut and just take these upper racks off just to make it easier to handle to get things up on the roof. And then tomorrow we will we'll take the unistrut up, put it on the roof, take the upper racks, remount them. We're basically going to recreate this whole thing up on the roof, make sure we have everything level, straight, exactly where we want it. Then once we have that all in place, we can go ahead and start drilling holes and bolting everything through the roof. Then once that's done, then we can start dealing with the lower racks and everything. So we're gonna cut, and then we'll call it a day and start up again tomorrow. Okay, so it is a very cold and starting to get rainy day here in Phoenix, and one thing that we knew we needed for coming up installing the solar this next weekend is some kind of scaffolding, because our pieces are so big, you know, the big racks and the big unistrut. We don't want to be just kind of manhandling them up there. We wanted a proper scaffolding next to the bus to be able to have multiple people kind of lifting things up onto the bus. So we looked at the price of renting some scaffolding, and since projects always take us a lot longer than we think they're going to take, you know, we thought we could probably build it for cheaper than it would cost to rent it for a day or a couple days, or knowing us, probably even longer than that. So for about $50 in supplies, we got a bunch of 2x4s, we have a bunch of leftover plywood that we're going to use, and just some screws. We are going to build it. In fact, our 13-year-old son Dominic is probably going to do most of the building. We thought this would be a great project for him to work on. So that's our project for today, is to, under our little canopy here, as the rain starts to come in bigger and stronger, we are going to build some scaffolding. So the plans that we're using is a modified version of some plans from a guy we found on YouTube that built some scaffolding. So we'll link to that in the description below, to the video that we use sort of as our inspiration, but we're gonna make ours a little bit longer, a little bit wider, a little bit taller than his. So we had to modify it just a little bit, but it's real simple build, and it's something that, you know, we can move and then take apart when we're done pretty easily. So that's what we're gonna get started on.